Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I am Sunique and we have here the latest edition of Total Tarot magazine. So let's open it and see what we have. Now I think it is the In-Between Tarot deck. Now there is a kit version of this deck which I've not seen, but the one I've got, and I don't know if it is the same one, is this one. So I'll be interested to find out if it's the same deck. So let's have a look. Actually, it's not. This is completely different. So this one is by Janine Worthington and their father, I think. I've had this a long time, look, 2010. And this is cards that come in between the tarot cards. So in between the Lovers and the Chariot, this is the card that you'd have. Yeah. And I wondered if it was the same because it's actually called the same thing, the In-Between Tarot. There's only a few cards, whereas in this one, it's a full deck. So that's, yeah, that's something completely different. Oh, that's quite exciting, actually. Yeah, there is a kit version of this with a large guidebook. Like I say, I don't have that. So we'll have a look at that in a minute. I just want to have a look at the magazine. So if you don't know, this magazine comes out once a month with a subscription, and you get 2 magazines and a full tarot deck. Now there was an option to buy it in the shops, and I'm not sure if that's still available. And in that case you'd have 1 magazine and a half the deck, and then you'd have to wait to buy the next one. So these are magazines. So I'll have a look at the magazines after we look at the deck. So I'm just going to do a walk through the deck. So I presume the premise of this is that these cards are what happens. Yeah, it says Fool, Magician. So what happens between the Fool and the Magician? Okay, so what I might do is get a Rider-Waite-Smith and, yeah, put them side by side, and then we can see how that works. Okay, so presumably for the Fool, this is the Fool. To get to the Magician, this is what happens. So we've got a Fool written on one side and Magician on the other. So the Fool is there, has actually taken that leap. And then we have the Magician. Okay, so then we're going to go from the High Priestess to the Empress. So we've left the Temple there, and now we're going into the Empress energy. This is really good, actually. Okay, so from the Empress to the Emperor. Wow. I'm going to really have to sit with this one, I think. It's completely different, isn't it? So from the Emperor to the Hierophant. And this is good as well because we've got Aries for the Emperor and Taurus for the Hierophant. So we've actually even got the astrological associations on this one. Okay, so from the Hierophant to the Lovers. It looks like this is the Hierophant hand fasting the Lovers. And then from the Lovers to the Chariot. So our Lovers now. We've got Cancer as well. We've got the sign as well for the Chariot. That's great. I'm intrigued. Okay, Chariot to Strength. So the line there is in the stars, the configuration there. And we've got the Leo sign here. They're beautiful cards. They're not what I expected, actually. I'm pleasantly surprised by this deck. I didn't think, honestly, I actually thought it was this deck. I thought, oh no, not another deck that I've already got. Becoming quite a bit of a thing for me. There we go. So the Hermit now. So we're travelling here. We've got the Lion look and the Maiden, and they're travelling through a portal here to the Hermit to become the Hermit. This is really good. Okay. So going from the Hermit to the Wheel, what happens there? Oh, there's the Hermit. And they've got the elements as well around the outside here. So to get to Justice from the Wheel. I don't know what that is on the side of the sword there, if that's still the Hermit there. Okay, so from Justice to the Hanged Man. We're still carrying the scales of justice here. Interesting, I don't know what's going on there. Okay. This is going to be interesting. Hanged Man to death. There's some energy. This reminds me of the Wicker Man. Okay, so now we're going to Temperance. Oh, that's beautiful. With this Phoenix rising as well. Oh, wow. Okay, let's see our Devil energy then. We've still got the Lovers, so they've kept that motif, and the Tree as well. But yeah, they're chained to it. That's so interesting. I'd love to see the guidebook, you know, for this deck in the kit version. Onto the Tower. Well, that's different. So we've kept the Tree there from the Lovers, from the original Lovers. We've got very Egyptian feel here. I'm really going to have to sit with this deck and see what it has to offer. Again, look, with our Tower now, we have the energy of the Tower, but we've also got Aquarius for the Star. Okay, Star to the Moon. Very Viking ships. Again, we've kept the Aquarius sign. We've got this beautiful moon that we're all travelling towards. And the sun is now appeared on the sail of the Viking ship, and the moon is still here, but it's waning. So that's cool. Look at this figure here. It sort of echoes the stance of the baby on the horse, doesn't it? Those arms wide open. Yeah, okay, so then we go from the Sun to Judgment. So the Sun is in the background, and then Judgment and the angels are there. And then the final one here, Judgment to the world. So now we're rising up to the call, as in Judgment. And don't see where the world fits into that. But what happens with the world card? Well, the world and the Fool. So we go back in the cycle. So that works really well, and we've got this circle here for the world. That's really clever. Okay, so how does the rest of it work? Right. Let's have a look. So let's start with, we'll put those to one side, yes. So this starts with cups. I'm going to start with wands though. Do it in the order of the golden dawn. So this is the ace. So we have the ace and the 2. Yes, we've got elements of both cards there, haven't we? And the 2 and the 3. Got a steampunk feel there. Or is that just me? Maybe it's just me. It looked quite steampunky. It feels more like pentacles, 2 of pentacles to me, but again, I haven't got the guidebook, so the 3 and the 4. Yeah, it's telling a story through the cards, through the suit actually. So these 2 figures here, or these 2 figures here. Okay. So go from the 4 to the 5. So they're a circus act. Okay. 5 to the 6. Seven to the 8. Eight to the 9. The 9 to the 10. Ten to the, oh, it goes to the ace. Okay, so it goes back to the ace. I wondered what was going to happen there. So the 10, of course, because numerologically it would, wouldn't it, go back to the ace? Yeah. So what happens in the page? So from the page of wands, then we go to the knight. I remember doing that when I got my my degree. Throwing the hats in the air. Okay, knight to queen. So it's the Knight of Wands. So the Knight is going from this energy to the Queen energy. And then the King. So the Queen to the King. This is a very different deck, isn't it? And then we go the King, and then that'll go back to the page. Okay. To the King. To the page. I'm really going to have to sit with this deck. I've said it a few times now, but what? It's very different, isn't it? Very, very, very different. Okay, let's now go on to the next suit and see how we get on with that. So it will be, for me, cups. Okay, so just quickly flicking through there, it like seems to me that each suit has a different sort of story. So that was one about, well, what was it about? Learning how to do circus tricks, doing the circus tricks, being, I don't understand this one. I mean, they're being crowned victorious, but it's actually the 5 of Wands. So I suppose back to back, that might mean the 5 of Wands energy, and then all this in the background here. Spectres almost. Defending it, defending what they've and fleeing from somewhere, defending. I don't know. I mean, it's a difficult concept, I would imagine, but there's a definite story, isn't there? So it's the story of the wands. Let's have a look at the story of the cups then. So the Ace of Cups to the 2. So we have the Ace and the 2. And the 2 to the 3. So 2 become 3. 3 to the 4. So the tree still. Someone asleep. Oh, actually, the couple are asleep here while the child collecting water. The 4 to the 5. Again, we've got this back-to-back energy. We've got the spilled vessels here as well, but we've also got the hand here holding this vessel here. So yeah. The 5 to the 6. Six to the 7. Seven to that 8. Eight to the 9. 9 to the 10. And then the 10 back to the Ace. Okay. Look at the cool cards. There's a page. Sorry, I'm not checking if I'm in frame. I'm just looking at the cards. Alrighty, page to the Knight. Oh, it's got the toy horse there. So a sort of reference to the Knight here. Okay. So the Knight, the Queen. Queen to the King. And then the King to the Page. Okay, so that's the cup suit. And then the 2. These look like Roman centurions. Got the swords echoed here. Like almost like sword in the stone, but you wouldn't get that with the centurions, would you? Roman centurions. That's more an Arthurian thing. Oh. Right, the 2 to the 3. So we found another there. 3 to the 4. Okay, 4 to the 5. 5 to the 6. Battlefield, yeah. This is, yeah, see that energy there as well. That's really cool. Okay. Definitely telling a story. 7 to the 8. To the 9. So we've got the 9 hands over the face there, but we've got the 8 here. That, yeah. Okay. And then the 10. It's a little bit confusing actually, because I see more of one energy than of the other in some of the cards, and yet the card title doesn't correlate. Okay, so we have the 10. Oh, we're back to the ace, aren't we? Okay, so now on to the cool cards. So we have the page and the knight. Knight and the queen. Queen and king. And the king and the page. Okay, let's look at the coin suit now. 8, 2, 2 and the 3. Yeah, so we've got this lemnis gate. But we've also got the 3 figures there coming together. And there again here. Look at this. Oh. 4 and the 5. 5 and the 6. The scales are there. Meaning's refuge. Okay. 6 and 7. It seems like a suffragette movement, doesn't it? 7 and 8. Bill of Human Rights. 8 and 9. Star's interesting. Yeah, I thought it was suffragettes. 10. 9 to 10. And then the 10 Ace. So a page and note. Got holes in the background there. That's cool. Knight and Queen. Queen and King. And then the King and the Page. How interesting. I'm thinking, or wondering, how that works with their own suit. So, I mean, with their own deck. So, I might try that actually. It's going to be a long video. This is going to be a real work in progress, I think, because looking at how the numbers align, looking at how the energies align, how the astrological significance aligns, will be, I don't know, I really would like the big guidebook actually. Okay, Page, Knight, Queen, King. Alright, so Fool, Magician. Yeah, you can just tell the story as you go along, can't you? I need a bigger space to do that. Right, that's a project for my own amusement, I think. Yeah. All right, so I'll leave that there actually. This will be here all day. So let's now have a look at the magazine, shall we? So I've tried to get it all on screen. We'll see how we go with that. It's part 66 and part 67. The Collect the In-Between Tarot, Major Arcana in the first issue, and then the minor cards come in the second issue. And we have some nice large images from the deck. So let's start with 66. Let's see what we have. Okay, so we've got another instalment in professional tarot readings. Of course, we've got the table of contents on the inside cover. Talking about blogging here, company description. So, it's setting up a business. Yeah, the work environment where you're based, and then so this is from the manga tarot, which we had in parts 46 and parts 47. So, specific consumers or business you plan to serve. So where? So is it a cafe, a shop, a hotel? Yeah, some questions to ask yourself actually when you're putting your business plan together here. Your competitive advantages, so why you're special. Your history, why you're drawn to this particular line of work, some marketing, advertising, social media, websites, building your own website. And then our card in detail is the Two of Swords. So on that Two of Swords is the Radiant Wise that we got in the first issue, I think. The first or the second. So yeah, the card in detail. So about discussion, arbitration. It says take your time. And we have some symbols, 4 symbols. The themes of the card within tarot. So for instance, personal life, divination, psychic, and song. What the card shows us here. Some questions we can ask of the card. How do you weigh your choices? And the lesson. Some correlations with the Golden Dawn here. Lord of Peace restored in the Thoth deck. Then we have some examples from other decks. So we have the Worth, Tarot of the Angels, which we've already had, and the Klimt that we're never going to get. So I'm glad I bought my own copy because I was looking forward to that, but we're not getting it. Anyway, traditional meanings, upright and reversed here. And then, yeah, we have some lovely illustrations from other decks. So Fleur Scarabeo Tarot, the Pagan Tarot we've already had. Nefertiti's, the Fae, yep, we had that one. The White Cats, the Shaman, Universal, and Silver Witchcraft. So in the Silver Witchcraft, it needing to make a decision. In the Universal, it's balance, it's detachment in the Shaman. Choosing with eyes closed. Yeah, so different meanings with different decks. We have a spread called Understanding Change, and it's the first part of this article. So it's a 5-card spread to help the individual understand the feelings caused by change. I love the way that it's all easily laid out here. I think it's beautiful. The aesthetic in this magazine is really, really nice. Anyway, instructions on how to go about this reading. And we have some positions here. There's 3 there. I presume on the other side we have the rest. So this is here, Tarot of the 78 Doors, which I really enjoyed that deck. Yeah, there we go, 4 and 5. So those are the other positions of the cards. And a synthesis of it. Suits at a glance. That's come a bit late in the day, actually, in my opinion. Actually saying what the suits mean. Thought that would have been earlier on in the earlier issues. Anyway, Tarot Deck Library. So this is all about this in-between tarot. It's a great way to discover what's going on in the space in between the cards. So what shall we do here? So the symbols, references. So here, the space is in between the 5 of Cups left. Shares different meanings with its 2 neighbouring cards. So there. The number cards reflect our day-to-day concerns and situations. The reader should interpret the borders between the cards. So that's where the interpretation comes. That's okay. I'm going to have a look at some of these meanings. The Fool to the Magician. Put them there so we can not get too distracted. So a leap of faith into the unknown. Okay, so it actually doesn't give a meaning for the card. So it doesn't give a meaning for the Fool. It gives a meaning for the in-between stage. That's no, it doesn't work, does it? 0 to 1, Fool to Magician, and it says a leap of faith into the unknown, but that is the Fool, isn't it? So if we go World Fool, dreaming up a new order. This is really, I don't know what I think about this. I really don't know what I think about this. Oh, Fool. We're doing World to Fool. Okay, so that's Fool, that's Fool. How does that work? The World to the Fool. So we've got 2 Fools there. It says dreaming up a new order. But that doesn't really relate to that Fool card. I mean, I respect the fact that they've tried to do this because it's obviously not a very easy thing to, or concept to actually manifest or actually construct. But it's, I don't know. It's beautiful though, isn't it? High Priestess to the Empress. So you can see that straight away that they've got the 2 energies there. Anyway, Minor Arcana. Let's have a look at some of these. So if we go 5 to 6 of the Cups, for instance, 5 to 6, 5 of Cups, 6 of Cups. Numbness. Do you see numbness there? I don't know. I'm struggling. So what about if we do say the same? Let me think. Okay, let's do some court cards. Let's do that. Queen to King, a degree of responsibility offered. Okay. And in the Pentacle suit, or the coin suit, Queen to King, becoming the breadwinner. Then with the Wand suit, Queen to the King, achieving the confidence of others. And the Queen to the King of Swords, old knowledge with fresh eyes. What do you think? It's not... I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, we have a visual reference here to the majors. Where to go to in the magazines to find the articles. So let's look at the second part and see what we've got here. Professional tarot reading part 4. Getting the practicalities right will enhance your career. Starting out, operating procedures. Got the Tarot of the White Cats. Actually, I don't know about that deck. Anyway, about the law, taking payment and tax. Contracts, invoices, descriptions of products and services, financials. Where are you working? From home or in an office, coffee shop, public space, etc. Recordings. Yeah, if you record the reading or not. Local small business support. The card in detail is our beloved Three of Swords. Card that everybody loves. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Oh dear. Anyway, sorrow and despair. And then the 3 symbols here: bad weather. The rain, don't we? Raging storm, dark clouds, lashing rain. The swords themselves. And the heart that doesn't bleed. And then the heart itself. The wellspring of human emotion. Thematic meanings of the card in personal life, divination, psyche and soul. The card shows us some questions. What truly lies at the heart of the matter? What is the most painful truth you've ever learned? I have a list. The lesson. Correlations with the Golden Dawn. Traditional meanings upright and reversed. And then some illustrations from other decks. So the Worth, the Tower of the Angels and the Klimt. And we have a Scarabeo. It's pretty, isn't it? Piercing the heart. Okay, Pagan Tarot, alone with unhappy thoughts. Nephratis, guilt and blame. The Fae, seeking solace to a deep wound. Celtic, universal Celtic. Thus stops the world. Meditation for the shaman. Painful decisions for the pre-Raphaelite. Love that deck. 1,000 voices for the Dark Grimoire. Understanding Change part 2, so the second part of that tarot spread there, and then a sample reading here and how it's being interpreted so you can follow along. The meanings of the drawn cards, division by suit or number, the synthesis, and then we have another spread which is called the bridge spread. So the steps you take over the bridge represents your practical steps. We have all the cards, we draw 10. So we're trying to identify the practical and emotional steps needed to make a transition. Okay, and that's the layout for 10 card spread. Tarot technique, so 60-minute reading. So this is the second part of an article we had before. And it's illustrated with a harmonious tarot. How to divide up the 60-minute reading. And then we're talking the Thoth. So this is the 19th article in the history of the tarot, and the people in the history of the tarot. So we have our beautiful, beautiful Thoth tarot here. And this is the Liberty, which is also a very beautiful Thoth deck. So some background to that. I love both those decks. They're so gorgeous. Anyway, we have a visual reference to the minor arcana in inBetween Tarot, and then where to go to find the articles in the magazine. So what do we have coming up? We have the Dark Grimoire Tarot. I'm looking forward to this one, actually. So what articles are we having? We're talking about numerology. The card in detail in part 68 will be the Four of Swords. In part 69 will be the Five of Swords. And we're talking about Tarot's Renaissance, or the rebirth of Tarot. So that's what we've got to look forward to. So do you want a quick look at this version of the inBetween Tarot? Why not? So it's an original concept from the mind of tarot professional Janine Worthington and illustrated by graphic artist David Worthington, which I do believe is the father. There's 22 cards, a 42-page companion guide, which I completely seem to have lost. Don't know where that went. Oh dear, what happened to that? No idea. Anyway, a new concept in tarot. So it's the same thing. We've got the two cards, we've got the astrological glyphs, and then we've got what will come in between. So let's do the same, because it's only the majors. And the difference here we have is a keyword at the top, which is really cool. Okay, so I'll just sort these into their relevant places. Okay, so these are the cards, and then we've also got these 4 cards here. And if you look in the corners, it correlates there, that correlates there, and that correlates there. So that's the elemental energy. I don't know if you can see this figure here with the jester's hat. Hopefully you can. We have the Fool to the Magician, and there's all the Magician's tools. That's how that one works. And it says Genesis. Then we have sliding door when we go from the Magician to the Priestess. Of course, the Priestess is water. But we've got all the elemental signs on the outside. So, yeah, Magician. Still got all of the elements from the table there, but we've got this open door that shows us the Priestess there. And we've got the moon there for the Priestess. I think it's a very clever deck, this one. Okay, so that's the sliding door. So between the Priestess and the Empress, we have Twilight. And again, we've got the baby. We've also got the moon for the High Priestess. That's Twilight. We have Adolescence now when we're going from Empress to Emperor. This is our adolescent phase. And we go from the Emperor to the Hierophant. And this is a Crusade. Battlefield there. And we have this here strategy of the Emperor. I really like the association that's been made here between the Emperor and the Hierophant, because if we think back to the Holy Roman Empire and emperors and the Church and the Crusades, that just absolutely works, doesn't it? So it's totally relevant there. And then when we come to the Lovers with our Hierophant, well, we've got a choice to make. I always see the Lovers card as the choice card, but it says flux here, so we actually haven't quite made that choice yet, but we're inside a sanctuary here, a holy place where we can be still and take in the teachings if that's our preference, and then make an informed choice. So that works, doesn't it? And when we come to the Chariot from the Lovers, what happens then? Purpose. We've made the choice, here are the Lovers, and now we've got a purpose to go and project us forward or propel us forward with our Chariot energy. Then when we come from the Chariot to Strength, what happens? Obviously finding our inner strength. And the dog is snoring again. He likes to be by me wherever I am, and yeah. Anyway, this is balance. So we're balancing our forward movement with inner strength in order to attain what it is we want to attain going forward. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because the dog's snoring. Okay, Strength to Hermit. So the holding the light in the hands, the light of the Hermit. And this is Inner Guide, which is what the Hermit's energy is all about. We go from the Hermit to the Wheel, and this is a portal. This is a way through. So our Hermit now has found, through being in this energy, a change, a new way. Let me go the Wheel to Justice. Oop. Cards mixed up. So yeah, from the Wheel to Justice, and we've got like a whole map here going on. We have an angel here, and this is entitled Legend, and that's what we call the drawings on a map. We have a legend that goes alongside, which tells us what the meanings are on there. Turmoil when we go to Justice to the Hanged Man, which is quite interesting. Would you think turmoil? And then from the Hanged Man to Death card, we have Prophecy. My least favourite card here, actually. I don't like this imagery. It's very, I don't know. It's not my favourite one. Anyway, moving on from transitioning from Death to Temperance. So yeah, transition. And then we go to the Devil. So then we have Temptation, of course. From the Devil to the Tower becomes a maze. Look at all the cards there. Isn't that cool? A house built of cards. From the Tower we go to the Star, and we get an Aftermath. So the Rainbow Iris. Yeah, we can see the destruction here. Star to the Moon. We have Trepidation. And it's quite clever, really, this moon imagery here, because we have sort of the subconscious element here and the water here, and the fact that what we don't realise is what we see above is only a small part of actually what is underneath. Clever, huh? And then from the Moon to the Sun we have Clarity. Then from the Sun to Judgment, keyword will be Tantra. Isn't that beautiful? Ascent from Judgment to the world, or in this case, universe, which is what way it's named in the Thoth deck, universe. And then we go back to the Fool. We have a new order. Yeah, so that's the way that this one is structured and depicted. Quite interesting that they've got the same sort of colour set. But yeah, I don't know about this one. I'd like to know a lot more about it, but obviously we don't get an awful lot in the magazine article. And it does, as I say, it comes in a kit form, which will give you a lot more information with the big guidebook. So if the deck does call to you, then that might be an option to look into. But anyway, that has been a look at 2 different decks, trying to work in between the major arcana. So we've had a before tarot, an after tarot, and now an in between tarot. And I don't know what you think about these iterations that have been added to the original. Do they work for you, or do you want us to stick with the original? For me, to be totally honest, I'm not really a lover of them. The after, the before, all the in between, they're not really something that appeals to me. I like the original, and I think there's enough in the original. You don't need these add-ons. You don't, in my opinion, need any of them. There's enough information to read with the original deck. But that's my opinion, as I say. So anyway, that was my first look at issue 66 and 67 of Total Tarot magazine, the low Scarabea offering. I know it was a little bit laborious, a little bit slow, but it's just trying to get to grips with this sort of concept here of finding an energy in between the cards, which isn't really calling to me. I'm like those seagulls that can't stop calling to me. I tell you what's happening, okay, a little aside. The chicks are learning to fly now. It's that time of year where the chicks are growing and their wings are getting stronger, and so they're actually trying to fly. And so the parents are like causing such a stir with the loud noises because they're trying to protect the chicks as they make their first flights, which is, I mean, it's lovely, isn't it, nature? So that's what's happening outside. That's all these noises that are going on around me. I do apologise for, but anyway, I'm waffling. So thank you so much for watching, and until my next video, bye friends.